This video is how to clean the carburetor on a Troy-Bilt pressure washer. Tools you'll need are American standard socket set. There are no metric bolts on this system. A number 2 Phillips screwdriver, a flat screwdriver or something else to help you pry the fuel line off of the carburetor, a pair of pliers for the spring clips on the fuel line. We'll be using a twist tie to clean the small holes in the carburetor and scissors to trim the twist tie down. Also what I have is carburetor cleaner, which I picked up at Walmart for a couple dollars, and some engine starter fluid, which I will use at the end there just for the first start. You can pick them up at your auto supply parts if you need to. When I got finished, I realized that the fuel line ran directly to the carburetor, and there was a lot of dirt in the carburetor. So I went up to Tractor Supply and I picked up a fuel filter, this inline fuel filter. It's made for a Briggs & Stratton engine, and it cost $6. And they didn't have the spring clip, so I had to get the small hose rings here, which are $1 each. So that's $8 worth of parts and a couple dollars worth of spray. The whole procedure took me about an hour, but that included shooting this video. I've never done it before. If you have this problem, go for it. Alright, here we go. It's a Troy-Bilt pressure washer, purchased somewhere around 2007. It's model number 020316, and I hadn't used it in about 3 years, and I went to start it, connected the hose, put the water through it, and then tried to start it and it wouldn't start. So I took the air filter off, which is right here, which is one screw, and I'll do that now. Alright, the air filter just has that one screw up top, and then you can see inside the carburetor. And I tried spraying some engine starter in there, and the engine would run, but only as long as the starter fluid lasted. So now I have to take the spacer off of the carburetor so I can get at it. This just lifts right off. The spacer here is actually held on with 3 screws. There's one here and one here on each side of the carburetor throat. And these were very tight to get in, to get out when I first did it, and I had to use a ratchet to do that. And then there's a 3rd screw right up here, which is easy to come off. So I'll take this off now. A few comments here. Those screws were very tight around this carburetor throat in the very beginning, but now they're loose. And when you take this off, you'll notice there's a little hose in the back of it. But what surprised me is that the push button to start it is actually connected on the spacer. So I looked at it, and what I did is I took a twist tie, and the ones I have plastic on them rather than paper, so I take a pair of scissors and cut the excess plastic off the wire, And then there's a little brass tube in here, and in the middle of the carburetor throat, and I tried to shove the wire down there, clear that hole, and then I noticed that the vacuum here, this pump, had a hole here, and there's a matching hole. There's a hole over here also. So I think one of these holes here is used to draw the fuel up to pump it. This hole here looks like it goes down here and then comes down at a right angle. I tried clearing that, but I could only get in a little ways. And then I tried starting it again, and it didn't start. I put the spacer back on and put my finger in the hole and tried squirting it, and I didn't get any fuel out, so that to me said that the fuel bowl was empty. So I went to take the fuel bowl off. Unfortunately, the nut that holds the fuel bowl on is recessed under here, and the space between here is so tight that I couldn't even get a socket under it. So that means I'm going to have to take the carburetor off to clean it. Alright, the top cover, or shroud, is actually held on by 2 Phillips screws, one here and one here. Get those off number 2 Phillips screwdriver. And one hex bolt over here, which is the 5/16 hex, which is the same size as the bolts taken off the carburetor. So take these two and put them on the side. And when you take this off, you have to rotate the starter handle here so it'll come through the opening. And then this will just take it around the wrap around there, and this will come right off nice and easy. And that'll expose everything here that you need, hopefully, to get at it. Next step would be to take off the gas tank, and this is mostly just to drain the gas. I'm not sure if it's absolutely necessary or not, but I have a little bit of gas in there. I might be able to also just disconnect the fuel line and drain it. Alright, the top of the fuel tank here is held on with these 3 5/16 hex bolts, which seem to have collars on them, just below the head. And they're located here, here, and here. But the gas tank is still held on because there is another screw down here underneath. Alright, that bolt that was underneath the gas tank there is a 3/8 inch hex head, and that also has some sort of a collar on it. And once we remove that, we should be able to remove the gas tank. And there we go. So now I'll just be able to disconnect the hose, and hopefully we won't have too much gas running out. Alright, simple pair of pliers to loosen that clamp and slide it back, and then how to use a flat-headed screwdriver there to kind of yank that fuel line off, because it's almost like it was glued on. You can see how the carburetor is attached here with just these 2 bolts. But you have to be careful because there's some linkage up here that you'll have to make sure you reconnect when we put it back. So I'll work on getting these 2 bolts off to try and get the carburetor off. And I got these 2 bolts loose, and the carburetor is now loose, and there is some sort of a spacer right behind it. So we'll pull that off. Put that in our parts jar. And then we can see the linkage here. And we'll have to see, oh, there's some fuel coming out. Maybe the fuel ball was working. Alright. Let's see, the linkage just slips right off if you turn the carburetor this direction. And so now we have the carburetor off. We'll take these two screws and put them in our parts bowl. And again, they got a little bit of a collar on them. And now we have the carburetor ready to work. And we can see that the nut holding the fuel ball on is recessed. So we can take everything apart and get it cleaned up. So we'll take it in on the bench. Alright, here we are on the bench. And the nut holding the fuel ball in is half-inch socket to take that off. However, the fuel ball did have quite a bit of fuel in it, and I had to use a bunch of paper towels, so I recommend you do it over a big bowl if you have one, or outside where you don't care. And looking at this, let's see if I can get enough light on it. There was even after some of the fuel drained, there's some fuel in there, and there's a whole bunch of crap in the bottom of the fuel bowl as well. So I'll clean that out. Also note that there is a gasket here on the carburetor, and it's adhered to the carburetor, and I'm not going to take it off or anything. I'll just use the same gasket. So let me clean the fuel ball out, and then I'll do some work here on the rest of the carburetor. Alright, the next step is to remove the float, and that's just held on with a pin here that moves back and forth. The pin is held in by the fuel ball. So we'll pull that pin out. And then the float will have a needle valve under it. And there is the needle valve. And the needle valve, when it goes in, just slips into a little slot here in the float, and that'll hold it in. And that's basically all apart, and it looks like there's a lot of gunk in here. What I did is I picked up a can of carburetor cleaner. Let me go. Alright, here's my can of carburetor cleaner. Comes with a little straw. Took me forever to find it, even though I only bought it a week ago. I keep promising myself I'm going to get organized, or better organized, I should say. Sometimes I think I'd like to be like that TV character, Monk. Alright, I'm going to go take these parts one at a time outside, clean them out with the carburetor cleaner. Oh, and I got to go get a twist tie here so that I can shove it through the holes. I'll do that and show you how I do that. Alright, here's my twist tie, and like I said, it's really got plastic on it, so I have to trim the excess plastic off with a pair of scissors. Hold on. Alright, so I trimmed the plastic off, and as you can see now I got a nice thin wire here which I can use to poke in all of the holes. So, probably not going to show you that. I'm going to take this outside and spray it with the cleaner and use some paper towels and the wire and try and clean it all up. Alright, cleaning this nut for the fuel bowl, I noticed that it has a rubber gasket around it, but also it has a hole right down the center, and there's a hole right through it near the bottom of by the nut, by the gasket. So I took the little wire and I cleaned those suckers out also. Alright, time to put it back together. Here we get our needle valve here for the float. And I just got to put that in that little groove. And when you clean this all out, make sure you also clean out that hole in it for the needle valve. And you'll be able to see the wire through the fuel feed over here. So we do that. We can put our finger in here just to hold that. And then putting it over the hole, we should be able to guide that needle valve into the slot like that. There we go, and it dropped right down. And then we can put our pin in to hold it. Alright, I had to use two hands to position that float in the proper position so I could get the pin in. But now we can see that it floats. And so now I can put my fuel ball on. And that's got a little gasket that it has to cover. And then take our nut and secure everything. There we go. We got it all cleaned up, put back together, ready to go on. I even put the part that missed the paint spray here in the back, so it'll look real pretty. And now I'm going to put it back together. Alright, time to put the carburetor back on. And remember that we had this other spacer piece that went between the carburetor and the engine here, so we got to put that on. And we'll get a bolt started. Bolts will go down through here. And well, obviously it's going to take two hands. But just remember, I got to put that little wire through this hole here when I put it back on. So let me do that and get it started, and then I'll tighten it up there. Alright, I got the carburetor attached. I got my wire here working. So next step is to attach the fuel line, and of course you could always empty the fuel tank and put that on first, but I have a little fuel in my tank here, so I'm just going to attach the fuel line and then I'll mount the tank. It'll also give me an option here with some fuel in it to make sure that the fuel ball doesn't leak. Alright, I got my fuel line on. Check with a paper towel, make sure there were no leaks anywhere around the bottom of the fuel ball or the sides or the fuel line. Everything looks good, so it looks like I can tighten the fuel tank down and put the shroud on. Alright, as with anything that has multiple screws that are being assembled, make sure you put in all of the screws loosely at first so that they're all positioned correctly, and then go around a couple times and snug them up slowly so that they're all in the right position. So my fuel tank is on, and now I'm going to put the shroud on, and then I'll put the spacer here for the airplane. Alright, when you put the shroud back on here, you're going to have a long screw that goes through here, and position the shroud on the top. Don't forget to pull the handle through, and make sure you can look straight down and see the threads for this bolt. Put that bolt in first, and then when you put the screws in over here and over here, they're just going into plastic, so don't make them too tight because you don't want to thread or strip the plastic here. This is the main screw that's going to be holding everything together. Alright, now it's time to mount that spacer that's going to hold the air filter. When you put the spacer on, make sure you get this little hose back here attached. And then if you put the top screw in first, it'll pretty much position this so that you can put the screws into the carburetor. Alright, time to put the air filter, time to put the air filter back on. And it's simple when we took it off, just a couple little slots here. And the air filter is going to fit into those slots. And then just slip up. And then we're going to tighten that bolt up top. There we go. It's all back together. I guess I should try it. But it's really hot out here. Of course, that would probably be a good time to try it. But I think I'm going to sleep on it tonight, say a little prayer. It's an absolutely beautiful day today, so we thought we'd give this a try. And as you can see, I put the fuel filter in the fuel line, and I actually had to cut about a ½ inch out of the fuel line, otherwise the hose would be a little too low. Probably could have cut even a little bit more out. But I'm going to connect the water and remove the air filter, and spray a little engine starter in there, and we'll see if she takes off. Alright, as you can hear, that's the sweet sound of success. And I had to use both hands because I'm running the water through, since you're not supposed to run it without the water. Anyway, it's time for me to say goodbye and go to work. Good luck on your project.